another episode of Back to the City. We're surrounded. We're surrounded by cameras. And the we on this occasion is me, Simon Calder, and also Arel from the TOXENES. Anyone who missed the TOXENES at Palmer's yesterday can see the footage right now with this trusty iPhone camera. I like bending the space-time continuum that's currently happening. But we can all be in the same present moment back at Palmer's this coming Friday, which is when you're going to be playing at Palmfest. So you're playing right next to Hastings 3000, I believe, and I think that might be the end of the band's outdoors before it moves inside.
TOXENES is a very different project for me than Assassins because I've taken on much more of a songwriting camaraderie with Monet and TOXENES. In Assassins, she's one of the main she was like the songwriter. You know, I mean, she's like comes up with the riffs and like she's got that drive to just be like, we gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
And she carries that over into TOXENES too. Like, I'll be like, listen to this 3-chord power chord song I wrote, and she's like, we gotta turn this into something more, you know?
So you referred to L'Assassins, which of course you and Monet were in.
Yes.
L'Assassins, their code is kill, kill, kill.
Yeah.
I know from watching the wonderful 2-part video, in which, I should watch out, you commit murder by vinyl. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Straight into someone's skull.
Yeah, that was a lot of
from
fun.
behind the DJ booth. So if the code of L'Assassins was kill, 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 in the TOXENES, there ain't no code in gold.
Oh my gosh, I never made that connection.
Yeah, exactly. When we say the code, their only code is kill, 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 then we have the sense of the toughness. And what would you say, can you expand a bit more on what you feel the ethos of L'Assassins was, and how does that relate to the ethos, or the code, or the lack of code of the TOXENES?
Well, I mean, as far as our overall image, or like just everything kind of...
Image and attitude, so aesthetic comes into it, but I think that there is a like very coherent blend of aesthetic and like musical content and so like character.
Okay.
Like the broader sense of character.
That's a good question. L'Assassins, as far as like visually, aesthetically, I say we still kind of carry the same vibe. Mm-hmm. We love the same bands, like the Cramps. We love like 60s music. Surf music is something I personally really like. Psychobilly, you know, is probably one of my more influential type things. Than
would you say that? So in L'Assassins, was that one of the ingredients that came from you? No,
it was a collaborative effort. I mean, like our singer T, she loved like, you know, like Wanda Jackson and a lot of that like, you know, old rockabilly. And Monet loves like the garage music and like the hipsters who are from here. And
the band The Hipsters.
Yeah, the band The Hipsters. Oh yeah, that.
Not to be confused with
Peek out the window, we'll see them.
Loving The Hipsters.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a combined thing. I'd say always, but the overall aesthetic of like B movies and like Bad Girls has carried on and continues to carry through. There's nothing better than just watching like a good B movie and just seeing a little bit of trash here and there, you know.
I thoroughly enjoyed its second reference today, the L'Assassins 2-part movie.
I just watched that actually the other day.
So was it just within that fiction? There are the 4 character names.
Yeah.
And your character was
Babs.
Babs.
Because I couldn't use the name, because I'm a huge fan of Barbie. I couldn't use the name Barbie because copyright. So they're like Babs. That's a good
close.
one. Yeah. Tease is the most clever because her name is actual T-E-A, and she's
Yeah.
T-Bird.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And so I'm like, that's ingenious.
And then is it Pow Pow?
Poof Poof
Poof
from
Poof.
Monet.
Yeah.
Which is funny because, you know, you see her smoking a cigarette in one of our old music videos, and she
Yeah.
doesn't smoke, you know. And then Angela was Blackjack.
When you took on the role of songwriter, what were some of the earliest the Toxenes songs? And were you thinking of it as, there's a change now, this is a different project with a different name, I'm gonna, like with the first few songs?
Monet and I knew that L'Assassins was coming to an end. And so we had started ahead of time. We knew we wanted to continue playing music.
Yeah, of course.
And we wanted to do it with each other.
Yeah.
And she's just such a freaking awesome songwriter. She just has that drive and that kind of, I could procrastinate or, maybe I'll go do this instead of doing this. And she's just like, no, let's just do it now. It was always just a very much collaborative thing from the start. She would have an idea or I would have one and we bring it to each other. And so like a lot of the songs, like, I remember I started the idea of that one, but when I brought it to her, she changed it, you know, or, you know, I thought of this in the song she showed me, you know, or like,
can you think of this like a specific song where that happened?
Yeah, well, so I could say like all of them.
Yeah.
And now that we've matured as a band a bit, it's, you know, and obviously Maddie is a part of the songwriting too.
Yeah.
It's just hard to write a song from a drum set. But she writes her drum parts, you know, and always comes up with cool backup melodies. And heck, she sings 2 songs on our full length, so she has a beautiful voice. So
which 2 are these?
One's called Lever and the other is He's Something Else.
Yeah. Did she write the lyrics for those?
She wrote the lyrics to He's Something Else.
Yeah.
Monet actually was the genius behind the song Lever.
Yeah. Lever's quite distinct, isn't it?
It's very different.
Yeah, that's what we can hear at the moment, because there's always, we can't hear it obviously, but that's what you
can hear at the moment.
Late at night, she'll invade your dreams, sweat and turn underneath the sheets. She's the kind who make your knees go weak. She'll find your own bruises, baby.
She's the one who learned your deepest desire and puts your light out. She's the one who fills your treasure chest and throws the key out. that one in particular.
Yeah.
The Lever. I'm not sure I know of any other song that does such a good job of presenting that specific type of character.
Yeah.
Can you remember what the genesis of that song was?
Well, Monet, she kind of got inspired from the song Fever, but the version that the Cramps did, because we're huge Cramps fans.
Yeah.
And
Like You Give Me Fever.
Yeah. But not, maybe that's where the name Lever came from, but she wrote this, I think, she was lying in her bed, maybe, because I remember we'll text each other ideas and videos of our thoughts.
Yeah.
And she had a melody in her head when she was lying down to go to sleep, and that's how she came up with the song, from my recollection.
Yeah.
But lyrically, what was the thing behind it? I think just the idea of like a woman kind of using and abusing a man, kind of like they're falling for her, but she has nothing really to offer them in the end, and kind of just moves on to the next.
She's a Libra, baby. Oh, she's a Libra, baby. Oh, she's a Libra, baby.
I think that character of the Lever, you know, fits quite nicely within like the world of this record. One Time Thing, for example, there's like some affinity between those songs. Is One Time Thing a song that you composed?
Yeah, that was actually the first song we wrote.
Yeah.
I had this idea about the song, and of course it came to full fruition like once I showed it to Monet.
Yeah.
But that song's just basically about humiliating yourself, kind of pawning after or fawning after somebody, and just who really doesn't care, and you just basically you've decided you're never going to put yourself out there like that again.
Yeah, for them or for anyone.
Yeah. Which is totally not true, because I mean,
One is human.
yeah, you got to keep going on and on.
Yeah.
But I wrote it. I was going through some tough stuff at the time, so my lyrics in the beginning of the band were, and I was listening to a lot of the Donnas at the time, because I'd gone through this breakup that was pretty traumatic, and I was really depressed, and so I was listening to this Donna's music. I was like, I gotta get this girl power going in my head, and all my lyrics were coming out like way too forward and just cheesy, and Monet's like, whoa, like, I don't know if we should, you know. So now I've really taken a step back, and I try to be more intentional about what I write and not necessarily putting it so out there. That's one of the reasons why I love One Time Thing, is because it is very forward. And
so that was one of the earliest.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting moment too, because the combination of a commitment to oneself to not allow something to happen, but then the whole genesis of the song is that something has happened that one considers to be like a mistake or a weakness, like looking back. So the combination of kind of fragility and more so strength, the strength to kind of write a song about that and say that's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Is really interesting, I think.
Well, you know, it's basically, I guess, I'm putting up a front.
Yeah.
The character of the song's putting up a front. Because I remember the night that I wrote that song about, it was my birthday, and I was very, had one too many, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
yes.
you know, I just made a fool of myself with the person that was my friend. And I just remember being like, one, I felt dumb, and it was kind of like it was a front, like, this is never gonna happen to me again, when really inside I was just like, feeling down.
Yeah.
So
Like, I wish that hadn't happened.
Yeah, I wish I could just not be stupid sometimes. But hey, here I am.
I'm glad that that happened so that there was a song.
Me too. I'm glad. I'm like, why doesn't more things happen now? I'm like, you know, have to watch movies to get inspired. I'm like...
that particular series of events was a one-time thing.
Yeah.
But,
yes.
But, so how about with some of the other songs then? Are there other songs that are from that first batch?
Last Drag was an early one. Dirty Fingers. 5 Ton Bricks. Those are probably like our core, like, first ones, like when we finally found a good drummer, Maddie, and we're just like, okay, let's figure these songs out.
So you found Maddie. Where did you find Maddie?
I love this story. No,
Nice.
L'Assassins. Yeah, no, it was a great moment. L'Assassins was playing a show at the Nomad for, I believe it was like Rocksteady Breakfast puts on this like fancy dress party every year, and we got to play it. And Maddie, some of the guys from that band were in Rocksteady, or we're in a band called Devil Baby, and Maddie was the drummer.
In Devil Baby?
Yes.
Okay.
And we were all in the basement of the Nomad, and I remember just talking to her, and I just thought she was just so warm and friendly and kind, and I remember thinking, and I'm always on the lookout for especially girl drummers, like, where are you? And I remember after meeting her thinking, if anything ever, God forbid, happened to L'Assassins, I'm gonna like ask her if she wants to like play music with me, you know, like. Yeah. And
so you had that idea at the time, and then fast forward.
But like 3-4 years later, she's still in my mind. She just was somebody I wanted to get to know, and and now we get to play in a band together.
Talking about like the ethos or the character of the band before, and I think with both L'Assassins and the Toxenes, as distinct as the aesthetic is, it also seems like a very kind of organic thing, like maybe slightly kind of exaggerated version of the characters of the people in the band. What's the nature of the community, I suppose, of the Toxenes? Like, what kind of brings the three of you together? So on the back of you saying you felt this warmth with Maddie.
I appreciate them very much, you know, and I was always kind of a little bit of a loner, you know, or growing up, or had trouble making good friends. Yeah. And my mom had said something to me. She's like, you know, the Lord puts the lonely in families. And for me, that was always being in a band. It felt like I have these friends that I well, we have to hang out because we have band practice. I'm going to sound like a crazy person, but it was just always like,
Yeah, it doesn't sound crazy.
you know, I have friends and like we're going to do something constructive we love to do, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that I just alone, we love to create, brings us together. We like weird, artsy things. And we just enjoy being around each other.
Yeah. And Monet's going to make the creation happen right now.
I mean, and you got to have that person, because I'm just thinking, if it was any one of our personalities was replicated to all three of us, nothing would ever get done.
Let's zoom in on Last Drag then. He's like another representative of that first batch of songs.
Yeah.
And their boy smoked all my cigarettes. Don't you know I'm on the rag? Pull the covers. You weren't expecting a man in a British accent to read that back to you at some point. Pull the covers over, baby. You can take the last track. So I like how kind of succinct that little narrative is, beginning with the cigarettes and then ending, you know, that verse that ends with you can take the last drag. You've got the 4 songs. Last drag is sounding like it does. What happens then? Like, do you think, okay, these are the features, these are the ingredients that are the Toxenes? Or are you thinking, well, we've done this with these 4 songs, let's now do something different?
We like to stay in genre.
Yeah.
I'm not, that doesn't come so easy to me. As far as songwriting, I write very emo solo stuff, you know, as you want to put it, like,
one works through one's emotions. Yeah,
you know, it's stuff I do because it's working through emotions. I wouldn't probably ever play that in a band or on stage, not that I'd be embarrassed to, but
so these are separate songs. You have like separate emo-y songs that won't be, you imagine,
just for me
songs. Yeah.
You know, or I'll send it to Monet, you know, in a little bit of a haze and be like, what do you think of this? No response. You know, like, no, I'm kidding. I'm just teasing her, but we like to stay on genre, you know, because we like playing with the bands that we like, you know, we have great friends that we've made through all these, you know, through the types of music we played, and we want to kind of be able to still play like car show events, you know, and do that kind of stuff and be true to the music that we do love listening to. And sometimes the music you love listening to isn't the music you naturally write.
So you had those first 4 songs.
Oh, yeah.
And you were saying before that at least lyrically there was a shift in focus because you had the difficult period and you were working through some emotions regarding that, but in genre, though. But then at least lyrically there was a shift.
Oh, yeah, lyrically, shifted. Yeah. For sure.
So what was the nature of the shift? What did you then start writing about?
Well, I started writing about the same stuff, but was trying to mask it with stuff I love, like pop culture stuff. Like, so I love the band The Misfits, and one thing I love about...
Difficult not to love.
Right? One thing I always appreciate about Danzig's... Well, I like Graves' Era Misfits too, for all you haters out there. But Danzig Era Misfits too, I love the way he'd a lot of times like just basically write about horror movies. Yeah. And so I kind of started, you know, I have quite an extensive like B-movie kind of cult film thing in my apartment. Collection. Yeah. And put on one of those movies and just kind of like, you know, write about it. And so I'd say the song that probably kind of turned it for me most, trying to be like more intentional with writing less, hey boy, I hate you, or I like you today, I might change my mind tomorrow, lyrics to was Fortune Teller. I took references from a movie I was watching called like The Incredibly Strange Creatures That Turned Zombies musical. And it's this old 60s musical about this fortune teller who is kind of, you know, ugly, and she's always trying to seduce the men that come in, but they always reject her. And so she throws acid in their face and has these other deformed men that she keeps in the basement, and it's super campy and awesome. Yeah. And I used different things from that scenes in that movie to kind of write about what was going on in my life, about basically one of the lines is, can't satisfy the taste of blood red. If he baws like a sheep, he wears a wolf's head. Meaning just being tricked by somebody you trusted.
It's interesting that she throws, what was she, acid? Because so At what point did the name the Toxenes come about? Because is it referencing like toxins?
Well, so Monet actually thought of this word.
Yeah.
We were like trying to come up with band names. It's kind of referencing Exene from the band X.
Ah, yeah. Okay,
and also the idea of toxic.
Yeah.
The word. So toxine
Brilliant. Yeah.
came about.
It does kind of make me think of the idea of a toxin, and a toxin is like a biologically developed poison. I think that kind of fits nicely because you want the idea of toxic to be in the name. Yeah. But this is like a kind of organic, real. There's nothing fake or contrived about it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
I like that.
That's what a toxin is. So.
Huh. That's kind of actually a great way to describe us. Is like, I'd say that we almost have a little bit more recklesser nature than say like Assassins did. I felt very much. And then Toxenes is more kind of like, we're just, here we are.
Yeah.
And hold on.
In Electric Shock, I think that's where we get the sense of, okay, here we go, like, hang on.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yes.
And so how does that come through, particularly in that song?
That song I actually wrote behind the host stand, lyrics
at
at because when I started out there as a hostess, you have a lot of free time during the winter, and I was like, I gotta write these lyrics.
So you said you were saying before the interview, you now graduated to a server.
Yes.
But it's a good thing you didn't jump straight to server, because then we wouldn't have the title track.
I would, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Moto E, for paying me to do music. No, but that song literally has no meaning other than it's just supposed to be for the fun.
Yeah,
and
it's a goth beach party.
Yeah.
So just like the idea of that made me think actually of again the movie. In the part 2 of the movie, it's on a beach, of course. So that was like the scene that I was imagining this fun happening at.
Yeah.
Sans butcher. There was no butcher in this fun scene.
I guess like what I was daydreaming about was I don't know, just all your like favorite monsters. You know, obviously they wouldn't hurt you. They'd be in a good mood that day or something.
Yeah, right.
You know, and just like...
Well, they need to party too.
They gotta take a break. You know, and just all, you know, the kind of weirdos or whatever that we all are. I include myself in that.
Yeah.
And
who doesn't want to be a weirdo?
Yeah, right? And just
weird.
getting crazy and having fun. Thinking about it now, I guess, they have taken a little bit of a course kind of from... You know, when I was feeling pretty down, and then to be able to just write like lyrics to a song where I'm like, this is just for fun because we love what we're doing. Yeah. You know, is kind of actually an awesome thing, I think. Now,
absolutely.
Looking back, I'm like, to not have to write serious subject matter that I had to cry about, you know, alone in my room, to being like at my new job that I never thought I'd get to work at and just writing about monsters at a party. I mean. Yeah. Shows like the emotional thing people go through too, you know. You can come out of
definitely, and there's still an emotional component to like pure fun. You know, that one person's party is not another person's party. As I said, there's still like a lot of content, like emotional content, and you know, sonically, like the way that this song sounds gives us an impression of what Ariel's party is like.
Yeah, we always have fun. Seriously, when we play that even at practice, you know, and you do the set, and you're kind of like, oh, I do this all the time. Get to that song, because we usually play it last, and it's always like the most high energy fun song. We're actually going to be recording a music video.
Oh, cool.
July 30th for that song.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Is it going to be on a beach?
No. It's going to be my friend Janet Calderman. I met her years ago we worked at the Ragstock basement in Lake Street for years. Yeah. She's now going to film school, and so she's doing it for us. And it's at the Eagles Club. See, I gotta stay on track. Yeah. It's at the Eagles in like one of the small side rooms. It is the perfect room. It has like old wood paneling and like red curtains, just kind of dingy. I know the one that you mean.
That's my favorite of the rooms. So
supposedly it has the best sound.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, so your friend Janet, she's making this video for you. This is the first time she's made a music video
Yes.
for you. But if it's the same Janet, you have preemptively reciprocated with a theme song.
Yes,
Alley
yes.
Cats. Is that the final track on the record?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's so we get the full song at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And are there multiple episodes, or there's one?
Just that.
This one.
Yes.
And did you do all because there's a lot of music throughout as well.
That's all our music. Yeah. Go to the TOXENES video page to find it. It's called Alley Cats.
Yeah, like the song.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's a collection of alley cats. They're dry at the beginning. They're out of liquor. And they're trying to decide who's going to be the one that's going to hold up the liquor store today. And then they realize that someone's missing.
Yeah.
And it turns out that they need to go on a rescue mission for their friend, which involves going to the liquor store to investigate stealing some liquor.
Of course. I do not permit stealing, but yes, in the movie for the fun.
Exactly.
Can't stop the bad girls.
Yeah.
So, this next song does deserve a little bit of an explanation, not like any of you care, but I care.
I care.
He cares. Thank you. Thank you. So, a few people out there care. But our friend Janet made a short film called Alley Cats, and it's about this badass all girl gang. They asked us to write a theme song for it. So we did, and we never played it live. We only have it on recording, but fuck it, we're never gonna play it. Yeah! So this is a theme song to an awesome movie.
From the soundtrack.
First, let's curb tips. Kiss our ass! Come on, ladies, let's 1, 2, 3, 4.
So with the song Alley Cats, is that written for those characters?
Janet had sent me the script months prior to us actually writing it.
Yeah.
And actually, this is another one of those I wrote behind the host stand lyrically.
Oh, nice. Good old me.
Yep, right. And I'd read the script, then kind of forgot about it. And then when I had crunch time, and I was like, oh yeah, I wrote some lyrics and kind of fit with her movie perfectly. But it's Janet. It totally gets the whole bad girl like trash vibe type thing. Like so, it wasn't hard to kind of come up with something I know that I thought she would have appreciated.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Just like she gets your aesthetic and everything that you're going for. Like Alley Cats, the show. Has that too.
Totally.
So it's like a marriage made in heaven. It works,
pretty
very
much.
well.
That's why I just can't wait for this music video to come out.
Besides being recorded in that best sounding room at the Eagles, can you reveal anything else? about the music
It's basically gonna be a monster party.
Yeah.
We're gonna
As
be.
it should be.
We're
Wonderful.
gonna be like it'll be a school dance essentially, and then we're gonna be the band that is playing this dance, and then people will become monsters, and we're just gonna have a good time and dance and drink punch that looks like blood, and everything cliche that you could say, but things are redone and liked for a reason, and
Absolutely.
I don't have a problem with enjoying and indulging in that culture stuff I like.
Absolutely, and especially with that song, which is kind of just embracing the fun. Has it been shot yet?
No. Nope, it'll be, 2 weeks, I think?
Ah, okay. So if someone really, really wants to be a monster in a music video, they know the band to go to.
Yes, please. We need 15 solid extras. So we'd like it to be like half guys, half girls, like 7 guys, 8 girls, 8 guys, 7 girls, and then, because the room is small.
Yeah.
So...
And monsters are big.
They are. It'll be wild. No.
And do you know which monsters are going to be present?
I got these really awesome 1950s like vintage, well, 1950s and then I say vintage, I'm being redundant, but I got these awesome like vintage Halloween masks. They're like neon colored, like classic, like a bunny and a skull and a witch and Frankenstein. And they're all like, and a devil, and they're all really a little bit damaged, but that only makes them better. And they're like child sizes too, so they're gonna look interesting on our like all grown up faces. But those, so you'll see some of those characters in it, and then some just like ghoulish people. Yeah.
Nice.
So. So there's this record company in Germany called Killjoy Records.
Okay.
And they're like kind of all encompassing of just like the genres that like love, like surf, garage, psychobilly, punk rock, rockabilly, rock and roll, garage. And we get to release a 7-inch with them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and
how did that come about?
They contacted Monet. She's kind of like our go-to, you know. She's like a contact. And yeah, just asked if we're interested, and we're like, yes, please. And so we'll be recording, we wrote 2 new songs for it that we won't actually play live until after we recorded them, which will be a first.
Okay. And why is that?
We just won't have any, they won't be ready, we won't have any shows before then.
Okay.
And our songwriting is just getting better, I think, because, well, the longer you do anything, the better it gets. So like the 3 of us have been working together, you know, for over a year now, so it's just getting better. And
so there's gonna be these 2 new songs that come out through the
Killjoy Records.
Killjoy Records in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah. So either sonically or thematically, what are those songs like in relation to these songs?
They're still the same type of thing we write.
Good.
Yeah.
Sad to hear if that wasn't.
No, very Cramps inspired. And there's another band that we kind of were. They're called the Trash Women, and they were like an all-girl 90s surf garage band. It's off the chain a bit for me. I love it. It's wild. Song right now, it's called Hot Rod, but we haven't developed them enough, I guess, for me to be talking so much about it. But it's going to be cool, and so we'll be releasing a 7-inch with them with the 2 new songs, and then probably, if we have enough time on it, a track from Electric Shock. And then they're going to be also releasing our full length on cassette.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and it'll be super cool to just have it released on a German label and have a cassette and also a 7-inch.
Will you have a German tour?
That is what I'm hoping for, and I know the girls would love it too, so that would probably not happen till early spring.
You have played a few shows in Canada. Like,
yes.
So at the end of 2016, like November time?
Yep,
November?
December. It was like
yeah.
the 9th through like the 11th or 12th.
Montreal
and Quebec.
Yeah.
You know, Canada is awesome.
How did Canada end up happening?
Our friend Charles, Charles Henry and Julia, his wife, they own and run this whole like putting on shows thing called Fuzztone. And they put on like all the like psychobilly, garage rock, surf, you know, genre bands in like Montreal is where they're based out of. And they just we had met Charles through L'Assassins. He had offered us a show and been like, love for you guys to come up to Montreal. And so we did, and it was just awesome. It was actually the last show L'Assassins ever played was October 17th. It was a Saturday in Montreal, and it was there. And it was just the best way to go out.
What a nice... So the combination of like the end of L'Assassins playing there, and then just a few months later, the beginning of the TOXENES. Like,
it was a wild ride.
It
was quite a roller coaster, you know, for everybody in different ways. For me, I took it really hard because my band, I went through a breakup, and my band broke up, all like around the same time, and I just was like, ugh. That's why, like, and And Monet was also kind of like feeling like, no, we don't need to stop. We're going to keep going. Let's make something good, you know, because it wasn't a bad breakup. It just sometimes things come to an end and, you know, people take different directions in their life. And we still wanted to go play, you know, not that the other girls don't want to do music, but they also have a lot of other creative projects that they do. So, but Monet and I still wanted to do the kind of the band thing.
Yeah, and together.
And so we just kind of used that high from that and just pushed it off and was like, let's go do this.
Yeah.
And so
let's go back to Canada. We got the connection.
Yeah, we didn't want there to be a lull in between the bands ending because I think it was really just hard on both of us to have something that we put so much work into kind of, you know, rightfully dissolve itself. But
yeah, and you really didn't let there be much time
No.
and you...
We had to go try out a few drummers and then we finally found Maddie and we're like, yep, she's the one.
Yeah.
And
Just as you sensed that she would be.
Yeah.
And not only is there like an affinity between like interests and attitude, but even birth months.
Yeah, we're all born in May. Monet and I are a day apart. I was born on the 4th. She's born on the 5th.
Oh wow.
And then
Yeah, so you got to have like a birthday show.
Yeah.
In May.
Yeah.
I liked the promo for it. Highlighted, celebrate our May birthdays with us if you dare. If you mess with the Tauruses, you might get the horns. And so knowing that we unusually have a band full of people with the same star sign, I thought I would refer to what the Free Will Astrologist predicts for your Palmfest week.
Oh my gosh, how interesting. Please do tell.
This is addressed to all three of you. The truth is, Taurus, there are always seemingly legitimate reasons to be afraid of pretty much everything. But there are always legitimate reasons to be excited about almost everything too. And so, the idea is that in the coming weeks, up to and beyond Palmfest, is going to be a favourable time to work on making that the second way of thinking, where there's reasons to be excited about everything, be the MO, to be the default. So maybe there'll be much more exciting touring in the future.
I love
not
that.
Too distant future.
I hope
Get
not.
used to this sensation of being on the road.
Yes, I like that. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, you know, and that is a good point actually, just in general. Regardless, if, you know, some people don't believe astrology and some people do, but regardless, it is a good word as far as stop focusing on the negative, look to the positive. Because that's something I'm totally like, always like, oh, well, this is going to happen, or I can't be happy about this today, when really, I have friends remind me, like, you got great things, like, think positive, you make what you make it, you know?
Despite what the astrologist thinks, or in keeping with what the astrologist thinks, what's on the horizon beyond Palmfest, as well as, I suppose, this, working with the German record label.
Just continuing to write songs and enjoy each other's company and, I don't know, playing music and playing shows that makes us happy, and people can, you have a long work week and you want to defuse, and going to a show, having a beer, talking to people is what helps that.
Yeah.
Everybody needs that, I mean, I wouldn't say we're breaking ground that's never been broken before, but we are enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I'd say, continuing to do that. And I mean, I would really hope we could go overseas and just travel more. Just write more music, and we get to play some cool stuff end of September, opening up for the band The Liars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
That
be
is
in
cool.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's something that would be hard not to be very excited about.
Exactly.
referenced the song Gold
Yeah.
at the beginning, which is the one where there ain't no code. Is this one that you wrote
Yep.
as well? Yeah.
Monet and I started writing this song on accident. I wrote the lyrics, and then, I mean, Monet was just jamming on guitar at her apartment one night, and I was there, and then kind of like took the bass and guitar. Well, her acoustic, but played it like a bass, you know?
Okay.
And then we just kind of jammed on it, and then wrote it like on the spot, and then, you know, figured it out. But I had to write the lyrics separately because they didn't come to me naturally.
Again, there's some like tropes that we would like recognize from elsewhere, but the particular way in which they're united and synthesized, I think, is really intriguing. So there ain't no code when you're raised by wolves. Walk the streets are paved in gold. So we're familiar with this idea of streets being paved with gold, but to put that alongside the idea of being raised by wolves and walking the streets, it's suddenly like a much more like positive image than one's expecting, like at the end, like following those other lines. And then by the end, I don't walk alone on the streets that are paved in gold. So how are you using that, you know, the image of the streets being paved with gold alongside everything else going on in this song?
I guess the overall idea of the song is just, at least from kind of what I was thinking, was like basically about you know, sometimes you feel alone, you know, and it's like kind of just about, originally I wanted to write the words about this like badass group of girl gang walking down the street, you know, we ain't raised by wolves. But then
with ammunition under their kicks.
Yeah. But then, you know, as it went on, it's kind of like the idea of I don't walk alone was because it's like you're in a gang and it's like you got your friends. But then it turned from a less, like I said, I kept trying to put a front, like trying to be this tough person. I'm like, no, actually, I just am who I am. And, you know, basically it's just about, you know, that camaraderie you feel when you're in a band. Like,
right. And
know?
you kind of found yourself, so you weren't initially intending to write about that experience.
No.
But maybe it's so much a part of your lived experience that the song is like, Arel, this is what this song is. There's a way in which we're just describing the connection, the bond between you and Monet, kind of working on writing the song. It's almost like, you know, that the song kind of bears the stamp.
That makes sense.
Of that bond.
Well, one of the last verses in it is we'll see if I can even remember it. We got knives for eyes and we'll cut our ties. If you can't walk beside, then you'll fall behind. Meaning just positive character, you know, like putting yourself around people who are going to encourage you and stand beside you. And kind of like sometimes you have friends or you put yourself in situations, may it be work or whatever, where, you know, it's maybe a little bit of a toxic situation. But like for me, would continue in certain things, like maybe work at a job I didn't like or go places I didn't like just because I was used to it, but it didn't ever really build me up, and just trying to make that decision to like surround myself by people who have my back. And if you don't, or I don't feel like I can support you, maybe we shouldn't be around each other.
Absolutely.
You know?
They have your back, but you're walking at the same fast pace as one another. So you got their back too.
Yeah, of course.
It almost seems like the songs are becoming more and more like a celebration of the band, and it's something that people, is obviously not just for the three of you, because it's like an attitude, or again like an ethos that the band is celebrating. And when people are at the shows, you were saying we all need, you know, we all have our difficulties and stuff. Like the experience of going to a show can be really important for one in the camaraderie and stuff again. So thank you for being the kind of band that takes these things that are important and valuable in life when we're not like dealing with our dramas. Dealing with our drummers instead of dealing with our drummers, our like warm drummers. Like
drummers.
So yeah, thank you for doing that for us. And I think Palmfest is going to be a really great environment for that to be shared with everyone in attendance, which hopefully includes a bunch of the people
Oh,
who were watching this broadcast. Thank you for playing at Palmer's in the meantime and enabling us to get a little sneak preview of what the show
It was a
will be
pleasure.
like. Yes, it will have been a pleasure.
It will have been a pleasure.
So yeah, let's do it again.
Sounds great. I'd
Let's
love
do it
to.
twice.